Welcome to Chad Hates Carbs. Today we're going to do a remix of the angel sugar cookies. We're going to try it again with a little bit of a different setup. And we're going to try a different recording method this time. And let me know in the comments if you like this way better than the old method, or it's more stream of consciousness, or if you prefer this new, shorter version. Thanks. We'll get to it right now. So step one, we're going to take and set up the stuff we need to have creaming, which is 1 cup of shortening. We're just going to slap a cup of shortening in here. And then we're going to put in 1 egg. Let me get this all in here. And we're going to have an egg. 1 egg to be creamed in there. And then it's asking for a teaspoon of vanilla. This is just a regular old vanilla, teaspoon of that. Then it's asking me for a half a cup of brown sugar and a cup of sweetener. And the brown sugar that it's asking for I made kind of last time. All I'm doing in this case, I'm actually going to cut that completely. So we have no brown sugar whatsoever. I just have 1 cup of Splenda is what I'm using here. It's regular old sucralose. I'm actually using the generic kind because that's the kind of guy I am. Now, the concession I'm going to make is I am going to use this molasses here, and I'm going to use just a little bit of it. I'm going to just stick in, I don't know about that much, and that's probably, I'd say maybe a teaspoon. The idea being that's going to give me that kind of rich flavor that the brown sugar gives, but I'm cutting an entire half a cup of the brown sugar sweetener that it calls for. I'm just going for that flavor out of that because it didn't really work out the way that I expected it to last time. So we're going to go ahead and mix this up, and once this gets creamed we'll add in the rest of the stuff, and I'll be right back for that. And here's what that looks like, nice and creamed together. So that's pretty much what we're going to be wanting to add the rest of the dry stuff to. And so that dry mixture, and it says add slowly to, I'm just going to try it just by putting all this stuff in, and then we'll mix it. So this is what we have here is, we'll start at this end. We're going to get a half a cup of lupin flour. We've got a 1/4 cup of oat fiber. Or sorry, this is the lupin flour, my fault. This is the oat fiber. We've got a 1/4 cup of oat fiber. And we've got here, this is a half a cup of lupin flour. I got those backwards, I apologize. And then this is a 1/4 cup of whey protein. I'm going to add that in. We've got a teaspoon of xanthan gum. We've got a teaspoon of baking soda. We've got a teaspoon of cream of tartar. And we've got a teaspoon of salt. So lots of teaspoons of things. And then all we're going to do is I'm going to kind of cut this in a little bit before I let the mixer go to town, because we want to make sure we don't have a powdery explosion on the other end. So we'll mix that together just a bit, because this stuff is definitely very powdery. Get that cut in just a bit. Alright. And, oops, there we go. Alright, and when I get back, we'll see what we got. Alright, so now that we're done, we've got some very stiff dough. It says stiff dough, and they're not kidding. So it says to make them kind of small, and I have to agree, after the last batch they didn't really rise much. So the ball idea needs to be small, and it needs to be not necessarily a ball. I think we're going to have to make flat little discs, otherwise we end up with these weird ball things. So I'm going to go ahead and make them probably half the size I made them last time, about like yay big, and I am going to go ahead and push them down. I'm also not going to, I'm going to try just not putting any sugar on them at all. Normally you roll these in sugar, but I'm going to try it just without them. And I'm going to try the first batch without them, and we'll see how they go. And then we'll see if we need to adjust. But this is all I'm going to be doing. Just rolling them into like a little bit of a ball, and then we're going to smash them flat, because again, the last time we tried these they didn't really rise much. And so we're going to do them more like this. We're going to see what happens. So I'll be back when I get it done. And there we have some fairly non-uniform cookies. I did a great job of making them not the same size. So We're going to stick them in a 375-degree oven for 10 minutes, and we'll come back and check them about then. In 10 minutes, they're looking pretty good. You can see we've got like a little bit of browning around the outside, which is pretty much what you would expect to see. You can see they didn't really rise much at all, just a tiny bit. So we're going to go ahead and pull these off and set them aside, let them cool. They did spread a little bit, but not too much. But we'll come and taste them here in a second. So let's see how they taste. They're much better. They're not super. The last batch were too sweet, straight up. They're really powdery. Like they have kind of that peanut butter cookie texture. It's very, very fine grained. So I think for this next batch, just for fun, I'm going to go ahead and roll them in sweetener and just see how that compares. So yeah, definitely good. I like these better. It's a good next step. I mean, obviously we'll keep playing with this, but yeah, let's do some with the sugar, and we'll come back and take a look at that after those have had their 10 minutes in the oven. A quick note on this: I noted that when I was trying to put the sugar on and roll it, because I'm having to push down on the to flatten them out, basically the sugar, the rolling in the sugar doesn't really work mechanically because we have to push these down. So I wouldn't bother rolling them in sugar. I just sprinkle them on top and kind of brush it off. These are probably going to be too sugary. Just understanding that there's a mechanical difference between this method and the rolled method, where they just flatten out and rise and are pretty and whatever. It just doesn't work with this method. So we'll see how these turn out. And here we are with the final copy. This is the ones that I rolled. See, there's a little bit underneath, but like I said, when I spread them out, it kind of messes them up. So we're going to try it with rolled and then sprinkled and kind of rubbed down. It definitely has more of the original's effect because of the extra sugar on the outside, sweetener in this case. Definitely very good. I still need to try to figure out a way to get the same mouthfeel, because it still is that powdery mouthfeel. But I think in retrospect, for the next version, we'll need to change the flour mixture a little bit. I'm not really sure exactly how I want to do that. I might put in like some almond flour or something, so that it isn't quite as fine, because I think that's the big issue. But we'll do that, and then we'll also not even bother rolling them. We're just going to sprinkle them and kind of level them off when we put them on the tray. But that's the final update. Thanks for watching. See you next time.